the weight you cannot see. There is something happening inside your body right now that nobody has told you about. Something that may be stealing your energy, inflaming your abdomen, and leaving you with that constant feeling of exhaustion that simply will not go away. It is not weakness, it is not in your head, and it is definitely not just your age catching up with you. After 60, the body begins sending signals that most people ignore or simply accept as an inevitable part of growing older. Bloating after meals seems normal. Waking up tired seems normal. A belly that never fully deflates seems normal. But none of that is normal. It is a warning. The shocking truth is that a significant part of all that discomfort may originate from pounds of accumulated, hardened waste sitting deep inside your intestines. Waste that got stuck, that was never fully eliminated, and that remains there, fermenting, poisoning, and blocking the healthy functioning of your entire body. And most importantly of all, you do not need aggressive chemical laxatives or invasive procedures to fix this. There is a safe, natural, and effective path, one specifically designed for the body of people over 60. And that is exactly the path you are going to discover today, chapter by chapter, from beginning to end. Why your intestine slows down after 60. The first step to solving any problem is understanding where it comes from. And when the topic is constipation in older people, the cause is never just one thing. It is a combination of factors that stack on top of each other and create what specialists call the perfect storm for a sluggish bowel. With aging, the intestinal muscle loses strength and elasticity. The rhythmic contractions that move food through the digestive tract, known as peristalsis, become slower and less efficient. Waste takes longer to travel the full length of the colon, dries out, hardens, and begins accumulating along the intestinal walls. On top of that, many common medications for blood pressure, joint pain, and acid reflux carry intestinal dryness as a side effect. A person takes a pill to treat one problem and unknowingly creates another. Add to this the natural decrease in water intake that comes with age, combined with a more sedentary lifestyle, and you have the ideal setting for the bowel to shut down completely. The result is a vicious cycle that, if not interrupted with the right strategies, worsens year after year. What seems like a mere inconvenience can become a serious health problem over time. But the body has a list of signals it uses to call for help, and ignoring them can be costly. The signals your body is sending that you may be ignoring. Your body is extraordinarily communicative. It never stops sending messages about what is happening inside. The problem is that many of those signals are confused with other things, or simply normalized because they appear gradually, over months or years. Constant bloating, especially after meals, is one of the most frequent signs. Persistent bad breath that does not improve even after brushing your teeth is another classic signal. When waste ferments inside the colon, the gases produced travel up through the esophagus and reach the mouth. No mouthwash will fix that because the problem is not in the mouth. Unexplained fatigue is perhaps the most underestimated signal of all. When the intestine is overloaded with waste, the body must work overtime to try to eliminate toxins through alternative routes. That effort consumes energy. You sleep 8 hours and wake up exhausted because your body was working nonstop through the night trying to clean itself from the inside. Other signs include hard, small stools, unexplained skin itching, a dull complexion, mental fog, and occasional dizziness. If you recognized yourself in 2 or more of these symptoms, pay close attention to what comes next. Because what is ahead can completely change how you feel every single day. The warm water that does more than you think. Let us start with the simplest approach, because often the most powerful solution hides inside the most obvious one. The very first strategy in this plan begins before breakfast, while still fasting, with a single glass of warm water. Not cold water, not hot water. Warm. That specific temperature matters because it approximates the body's internal temperature and causes no thermal shock to the digestive system. You can add a few drops of fresh lemon juice to amplify the effect. Lemon stimulates bile production in the liver, which in turn acts as a natural lubricant for the intestine. This simple practice, done every morning right after waking up, activates the gastrocolic reflex, which is the colon's natural response to the stomach being filled. That reflex is what triggers morning bowel movement. With age, the reflex weakens, and warm water on an empty stomach is a gentle and effective way to reactivate it. It sounds too simple to work. But those who adopt this practice for 1 week rarely give it up. And this is only the beginning of what this plan has to offer. The 1,000-year secret from Eastern Europe that Western medicine rediscovered. There is a natural preparation that has been passed down through generations in Eastern Europe, used long before any pharmacy ever existed. It has no flashy name and no colorful packaging. It is made from a humble ingredient that is probably in your kitchen right now: oats. The recipe is called oat kissel. You place 2 tablespoons of whole rolled oats into 300 milliliters of water and boil for 10 minutes. Then you let it cool slightly, strain it, and drink the lightly gelatinous liquid that forms. During the cooking process, the oats release a soluble fiber called beta-glucan, which when ingested forms a gel that coats the intestinal walls, calms inflammation, and gently promotes the elimination of old residue that has been lodged in the folds of the colon. Oat kissel also has prebiotic properties, meaning it feeds the beneficial bacteria living in the intestine that are essential for digestive health. Unlike many industrialized supplements, this preparation contains no additives, preservatives, or artificial substances. It is real food in its purest form. Modern research has confirmed what Eastern European grandmothers knew for centuries. The beta-glucan in oats not only improves bowel transit, but also contributes to lowering bad cholesterol and regulating blood sugar. That means drinking oat kissel each morning is caring for your intestine and your heart at the same time. But if you find the power of oats impressive, wait until you discover what happens when you combine 2 specific ingredients right before bed. The results that arrive the following morning will surprise you. The nighttime combination that works while you sleep. One of the most intelligent strategies in any intestinal cleansing plan is using the hours of sleep so that the body can do its own work. The mixture of dried prunes with kefir is one of those combinations that digestive health specialists frequently recommend. Before bed, blend 5 pitted soft prunes with 1 cup of plain kefir, no sugar added. Prunes contain sorbitol, a natural compound that draws water into the colon, softening the stool and making it easier to pass. Kefir, in turn, is one of the richest food sources of probiotics in existence, delivering billions of beneficial bacteria that strengthen the intestinal microbiome. Together, these 2 ingredients create an effect that acts throughout the entire night. Many people who adopt this habit report a smooth and complete elimination the following morning, with no effort and no discomfort. As with any dietary change, results vary from person to person, and it is always advisable to speak with a doctor or nutritionist before starting any new protocol, especially if you have pre-existing health conditions. The seed you are about to learn about in the next chapter combines 2 powers that seem impossible to exist simultaneously in a single food, and it fits inside a single tablespoon. The seed that cleanses and protects at the same time. There is a food that brings together 2 of the most important properties for intestinal health: the ability to soften stool and the ability to regulate cholesterol, both at the same time. That food is flaxseed, and the method of preparation makes all the difference. The secret lies in soaking 1 tablespoon of whole flax seeds in a cup of warm water overnight. When you wake up, the liquid will be slightly thickened, almost mucilaginous. Drink that liquid on an empty stomach and chew the softened seeds thoroughly. The mucilages found in the seed's outer shell form a protective gel along the entire digestive tract, lubricating the intestinal walls and facilitating the passage of stool. At the same time, flaxseed is one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, a compound with potent anti-inflammatory action. For people over 60, this combination of gentle laxative effect, cholesterol reduction, and anti-inflammatory properties makes flaxseed a true intestinal superfood. It is essential to always take it with sufficient water so the fibers can expand properly. Without adequate hydration, the fibers may produce the opposite of the desired effect. Start with half a tablespoon during the first few days to see how your body responds, then gradually increase to the full dose over the first week. One important note: people taking blood-thinning medications, or those with a history of intestinal conditions such as diverticulitis, should consult a doctor before adding flaxseed to their routine. For most healthy people, however, it is a safe, affordable, and extraordinarily effective food. And speaking of surprising effects, the next chapter introduces a 3-ingredient tea that dissolves digestive discomfort in a way you have probably never experienced before. A 3-ingredient tea that dissolves digestive discomfort. Medicinal teas have been used for thousands of years by cultures across every continent to treat digestive disorders, and for good reason. Certain plants carry active compounds that act directly on the intestinal muscles, gas, and inflammation, with an effectiveness that often rivals synthetic medications, but without the side effects. The combination of chamomile, peppermint, and fennel seeds is one of the most complete natural preparations for digestive health. Mix 1 teaspoon of each dried ingredient, steep in hot water for 10 minutes, strain, and drink warm after your main meals. Chamomile has antispasmodic action, relaxing the intestinal muscles and relieving cramps. Peppermint contains menthol, which reduces tension in the intestinal wall and facilitates the elimination of trapped gas. Fennel is one of the finest natural digestives that exist, especially effective against post-meal bloating. This tea can be consumed daily without risk for most people. It is especially useful on days when the food has been heavier, or during periods when the bowel seems more resistant than usual. Consistency is the key. A tea taken once will not work miracles, but a tea taken every night for a month can completely transform your relationship with digestion. The evening walk that moves what has been stuck. Physical movement and intestinal movement are more connected than most people realize. The digestive system has its own nervous system, containing more than 100 million neurons, which communicates constantly with the brain and responds directly to the movement of the body. A gentle walk of just 10 to 15 minutes after dinner is enough to produce a significant effect on intestinal activity. When you walk, the abdominal muscles rhythmically contract and release, creating a natural internal massage that stimulates peristalsis. That effect is far more powerful than what happens when you remain seated right after a meal. Combine that walk with diaphragmatic breathing to amplify the result. Breathe in by expanding the belly rather than the chest, counting to 4, hold for 2, and exhale, counting to 6. The diaphragm descends and creates gentle pressure on the digestive organs, functioning as a second internal massage mechanism. This technique also reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, which is one of the greatest enemies of healthy digestion. A gentle walk with conscious breathing, practiced consistently, is one of the most transformative habits a person over 60 can adopt. Best of all, it requires no gym, no equipment, and no financial cost whatsoever. Just your body, fresh air, and 10 to 15 minutes of attention to movement and breath. If the weather does not allow you to go outside, the same walk can be done indoors, or replaced by gentle in-place movement such as stationary marching, with the same attention to diaphragmatic breathing. What matters is building the habit and maintaining it. The intestine responds consistently to those who give it consistent attention. And when you combine this habit with the right foods every day, the results will surprise you. The foods that keep the intestine active every day. No intestinal cleansing protocol works sustainably without a solid nutritional foundation. The strategies presented so far are powerful, but they work in synergy with a diet that actively supports daily bowel transit. Kiwi is one of the fruits with the strongest scientific evidence for treating constipation. It contains actinidin, an enzyme that aids digestion and accelerates bowel transit. Eating 2 kiwis a day, especially in the morning, has shown consistent results in clinical studies. Pear and papaya complete this trio of fruits with powerful digestive action. Fermented foods, such as kefir, plain yogurt, sauerkraut, and kimchi, are indispensable allies for the intestinal microbiome. With aging, the balance between beneficial and harmful bacteria tends to deteriorate, and fermented foods are the most natural way to restore it. Oats and buckwheat are sources of easily digestible fiber that do not cause the gas and bloating that other whole grains often produce. At the same time, it is essential to reduce white bread, fried foods, processed sweets, and sodas. They contain no fiber, make digestion harder, and create an intestinal environment favorable to fermentation and accumulation. Replacing them gradually with natural options is one of the most worthwhile investments you can make in your health. It does not need to be a radical overnight change. Swapping out one processed food per week already produces a significant cumulative effect over 2 or 3 months. The intestine notices every small improvement and rewards you with more lightness, more energy, and less discomfort. But there is a very common mistake that sabotages all that effort, and you have probably made it without realizing. Common mistakes that make constipation worse without you noticing. There is a set of behaviors that seem harmless, or even beneficial, but that in practice aggravate constipation. Knowing them is essential, so they do not involuntarily undermine all the effort you are putting in. Frequent use of chemical laxatives is the most serious and most common mistake. Many people turn to them regularly because they appear to solve the problem quickly. And they do, but at the cost of progressive damage. The intestine learns that an external stimulus will do the work for it and stops making the effort itself. Over time, without the laxative, it simply stops working on its own. This process is called laxative dependency, and it is far more common than most people imagine. Suppressing the urge to use the bathroom is another frequent mistake. When the signal to evacuate arises, and you repeatedly suppress it, the evacuation reflex grows progressively weaker, and stool remains in the colon longer, hardening further. The abrupt introduction of large amounts of fiber can also make things worse, generating intense gas and cramping. The change must be gradual over several weeks, so the microbiome has time to adapt. Every body has its own rhythm, and respecting that rhythm is the key to lasting results. The human body has an extraordinary capacity to recover when given the right conditions. An intestine that has been stuck for years can learn to function autonomously again, as long as you stop sabotaging that process with habits that appear helpful, but in practice work in the opposite direction. But there is something even deeper behind all of this, something modern science has discovered about the intestine that will change the way you see your health entirely. Intestinal health as the foundation of everything else. Modern science has confirmed what ancestral medicine always knew intuitively. The intestine is not simply a digestion tube. It is the operations center for a large part of human health. More than 70% of the immune system is located in the intestine. Roughly 90% of serotonin, the neurotransmitter of well-being, is produced there. The connection between the intestine and the brain is so intense that scientists now refer to it as the gut-brain axis. When the intestine is overloaded with waste and out of balance, that communication becomes distorted. Immunity falls, mood deteriorates, sleep quality declines, mental clarity fades, and the body begins redirecting energy meant for other processes toward managing the intestinal chaos. It is a domino effect that spreads across every system in the body. People who suffer from chronic anxiety, for example, frequently present with significant intestinal imbalances, and treating the gut often brings more relief than treating the mind alone. On the other hand, when the intestine is clean and inhabited by a healthy microbiome, everything works better. Energy increases, skin improves, sleep becomes more restorative, mood stabilizes, immunity strengthens. It is not magic, it is physiology. A healthy intestine frees the body to operate at its optimal state, and that completely transforms quality of life, especially after 60. The most revealing aspect of this scientific discovery is that it changes the entire approach to seemingly unrelated health problems. You do not need to treat fatigue on one side, skin on another, and sleep separately. When the intestine functions well, those problems frequently resolve together as a natural consequence of a body that is finally able to work without obstacles. It is a health approach that starts from the inside out, not the other way around. This content is exclusively informational and educational in nature. It does not replace the evaluation, diagnosis, or treatment, by a qualified physician, nutritionist, or other healthcare professional. If you have pre-existing health conditions or regularly take medications, please consult your doctor before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle. How to start today without feeling overwhelmed. Faced with so many strategies and so much information, it is natural to feel that you need to implement everything at once to see results. But that is exactly the approach that leads to paralysis and giving up. The secret is to start small, stay consistent, and let the results motivate you to go deeper over time. Choose 2 or 3 elements of this plan to begin with. Warm water on an empty stomach in the morning is almost universally recommended by specialists as a starting point because it is simple, free, and produces noticeable results within just a few days. Add to that the gentle walk after dinner, and you will already have a solid foundation to feel the difference. The following week, add the 3-herb tea. The week after that, try the oat kessel or the flaxseed infusion. Every new habit you incorporate is one more layer of protection and care that you are offering your own body. Add one element at a time, observing how your body responds and respecting your own rhythm. There is no single perfect plan that works the same for everyone. The best plan is the one you can maintain with consistency and genuine pleasure over time. If one day you forget to drink the tea or skip the walk, do not treat it as failure. Treat it as information. The body is patient, and every act of care counts, even if it does not happen every single day. What unfolds when you care for your intestine with attention and respect goes far beyond elimination. You will feel more energy. You will sleep better. You will look in the mirror and notice a difference in your skin. You will find that the mental fog begins to lift. You will feel lighter, not just in your body, but in everything. That sense of lightness that seems so distant, something you believed had been left behind with the years, can return. Not in the same form as when you were 30, but with a different quality, more conscious, more earned. And that is the true purpose of everything that has been shared here today.